What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of Dead Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. We had the last tournament of the year coming up shortly. Making sure we raise the funds and do everything that we need to do necessary for that. With all that being said, let's start our show off the proper way with a word of prayer. Looks like we got a short show today. We'll just get in and talk about what we.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great all the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
What we got, Jada? I got my mom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he should.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games B.S. here on Wednesday, April 22nd. If this is your first time at the show, welcome. And if you wonder why it's called Big Games B.S., it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the B.S. of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we have to touch up on our continuation topic with our MFTK section. Before we get into some big news coming from the FSU football world, we're going to talk about the NCAA, start off with the Seminoles, then work our way outwards towards other teams like LSU and towards other departments or other groups such as the college football playoff in totality. Then we have some more topics before we get into our NFL section. We have some Jaguars talk since this is draft week. The NFL draft is happening this week. So we're going to be touching on topics mostly dealing with the NFL draft. We have some other things sprinkled in there as well before getting into our Big Games BS section, where we bring the scope of the convo outside of the typical sports, where we have our BS or Busted food reviews segment. And then we have our YN Wyland segment to close out the show. But first, let's talk some golf and let's have James take it away once I share this screen with you guys about Monday, June 8th, 2026, the inaugural MFTK, golf tournament.
It's just good. First annual golf tournament. We're trying to make it grow and be what it needs to be to help develop the flag, help develop all the other different things. It's basically right around the corner. We have to get stuff done and just trying to find the energy to continue to press through for it. But it should be a good event, should be a great time. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
We have some big news coming from the FSU world, but before we get into that, make sure to go on James's Twitter, Big Game James 36. Locate this post, click the link in the bio, take a picture of the screenshot. One of the best golf courses in the world. So we have some big news coming from the FSU football program. Now, we talked about this on Monday's show about the QB battle and how Mike Norvell did not name a starting quarterback, but it is officially official. Florida State has named Auburn transfer QB Ashton Daniels its starting quarterback. Now, before we get into our discourse, James, and before I ask your opinion on the quarterback starter position, I just want to show you some history, if you will, courtesy of traditional, no pun intended. But let's just take a look at the quarterback situation at FSU the past three quarterbacks. Ashton Daniels, he's a senior. He's going to be playing for 1 year. Transfer to FSU. Tommy Castellanos, he was a senior, 1 year player, transfer to FSU. And DJU as well. Was a 1-year player by the time he got to FSU, had stints in Clemson and Oregon State, if I'm not wrong. Transferred to FSU. So, James, I mean, just take a look at our last 3 quarterbacks. It looks like Mike Norvell has a routine on what he likes in QBs. But all in all, what are your thoughts on Ashton getting that nod for the QB1 position and the QB formula I have laid out for you right here?
Have you seen any of the talk coming out of Auburn about their quarterback situation?
Yeah, Byron Brown. Yeah, they wish they would not let Daniels go so fast.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, again, our fan base has every right to not be happy right now. We have not lived up to the standard. We have not had the success in which we want to have, and that's okay. But you know, when we really break down Tommy's time at Florida State last year, it wasn't DJU was ass.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to get around that. That was bad.
Tommy had fun moments.
Tommy beat Alabama, dog. Like, God, dog. Didn't just beat Alabama. He whooped Bama's ass. And our defense at times did not hold the end of the bargain. But, like, it was boom or bust. Like, again, when you look at some of the games that you lost, you probably shouldn't have lost those games. Like, you shouldn't have lost to Virginia. You shouldn't have lost to Stanford. That was crazy. Pitt had Pitt dead to rights. Maybe a quarterback that can see over the offensive line might give you a little bit more, some stuff. But, like, Daniels, it didn't really lose. Just, like, I don't know what people want. I mean, I do know what people want. Like, DJU, like, if DJU at Baylor is getting all kind of rave reviews. But if we would have got not DJU, excuse me. My bad. Not DJU. Not DJU. What's my guy's name? That was at Florida. The quarterback at Florida that's at Baylor right now. I'm sorry.
DJ Lagway.
DJ Lagway. One of them DJs. They love him at Baylor. Like, right now, Mike has had such a rough go, and it's such a 180 that it's crazy to me. Like, Mike went from people saying he just walks like he wants to win. Like, they raved. Mike went from he's better than Tag because he brought in 2 quarterbacks. Now, I told everybody both of them quarterbacks was mid. Mike went from he was great because he was everything that Tag wasn't, to Mike can't do anything right at this point. Like, we don't even give benefit of the doubt. Eliminated. Completely eliminated. And I'm not going to hold you. I ain't overly mad at it, but I'm just like, I'm not finna be over here stressing about things that if you really watch film, you could go and see, like, man, if this happens differently, we win. Like, yeah, like the one dude, black dude that doesn't write anything. Like, there's men who completely got out the fucking game in media now that was praising Mike. And the funniest thing was, he said Mike playing for, so anybody, it's 06, put that up there. Do you remember Mike's first game that he coached at Florida State? He playing for everything from rain. I was told that I'm a hater of Mike Norvell because I told the truth about the decommitment from Jeff Sims. Because Jeff Sims from Jacksonville, he's a kid who trained with Denny. Right. I knew him personally. He committed on our show. Like, so, like, his dad, like, it was crazy. The dad was happy. People believe Mike was such a badass that he took a private jet to fly to Jacksonville, Florida, to force a kid, to tell a kid that he's not bringing them into Florida State. Which I told people that's not what happened at all. And people were like, he has a plan. He brought in 2 quarterbacks. To lose to the quarterback that decommitted, that y'all say he flew a private jet to go force the decommitment for him. during a fucking rain delay. He didn't plan for the rain. Like you was just, Mike was like, it was like when Mike pooped, it smelled like lemon pledge. That was basically the articles that were written because we were so downtrodden from what happened with Tag that everything that Mike Norvell did was better. And even the suggestion by guys like me that maybe we should temper our enthusiasm, they compared him to my coach. Like, they like legit. And I'm like, yo, let the man, let the dead men be where they are. Like, let the man, don't do that to that man. But it was wild, man. It was a wild situation. But like, I think Mike can still do it. It's just everything Mike does. Like, if Mike don't go 6-0, like Mike is gonna, even if Mike goes 6-0, somebody's gonna be like, it's the most average 6-0 they've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I'm really willing to put the money down. Florida State goes the over 6.5. I think they can do it. It's an unfortunate situation. The man can do no right.
A random business owner came to my job the other day, and I seen he was from Tallahassee. I said, "Go Noles." We started chatting about Mike. And he said the same thing. He was just like, "I like him as a guy, but if you don't get 8, he's out of here." I was like, 8.
It's the worst thing to say to somebody. Like I don't ever want anybody to describe me like that. I just like, well, you know, James is I like him as a guy, but like, yo, no, I'd rather you say, man, he's great. He's an asshole, but he's great. I don't want to be just, well, anytime somebody tells you that, and again, it's the sports thing, right? Like, it's the sports thing. Like, you know, when anybody comes up and tells me, like, the last thing I would ever want to coach, you don't ever want to coach, you know, it's a good guy, and let him date my daughter. No, I don't want any guys on my football team that I would let date my daughter. That means they're safe. I don't treat coaches like pastors. I don't need you to be praying over my guys. I need you to win. That's what I need. But those are facts. Mike is a good guy.
But he needs
I need him to win, though. So he can be more than a good guy. He treats my sons great. We're still going June 1st. I'm going over there, probably bringing some kids to go to the Mike Norvell football camp. Trey likes to go to Mike Norvell's football camp. I like having the pictures of like Trey, and I can see how he's growing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Compared to him. And Trey in a whole nother mindset right now. The boy, I could actually bring Killer now. And Killer like can actually do it. Like he feeling himself. Killer's out there. I gotta post a video. Killer's out there with Miles saying, I'll finish when I catch the ball 3 times with one hand. And he got 2, and then he dropped the 3rd one. And I was like, that's okay. We got to start over. I'm like, you really want us to stand out here until you catch 3 in a row? Like, okay, we good then. Montre 850, Mike needs to be an asshole. He does, and that's the crazy part is what I don't like. It's kind of like what Miami fans did with Little Manny, right? Little Manny Diaz. We know Little Manny. Manny was a videographer at Florida State. They tried to paint Manny as this badass. And Manny's not. We know Little Manny. Manny's not a tough guy. He's a good guy. They tried to paint the nicest coach outside of Bobby Bowden and Mark Richt as a guy that nobody hates Mark Richt. We all love Mark. He's a lovable guy. They tried to paint Mike as this badass. And I'm like, guys, Mike ain't, stop it. But it's this thing that comes in again. I'm not saying, I can't say it's just white guys, but we do it with 4'5", 4'7", right? Guy who's never been in a fight before. Like we do it with this, oh, he's a tough guy. He's a man's man. Like, you know, sometimes it's okay to be a softie. Like, we'll paint guys that ain't never been in a fight, ain't never had a scratch on their face as tough guys. And then we'll paint guys like John McCain, who was a fucking war hero. He was a prisoner of war. Like, just the motherfucker had to be bad, went through some shit. It will make him seem like he's the soft one compared to somebody else.
Right.
Like, are you listening to yourselves talk? Like, anyways, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way. I think the thing that people don't get about Bobby is Bobby has some hitters around him. I try to tell people there's no way, y'all, Bobby was all Jesus loves me, this I know every day and had Mickey Andrews as a coach. It doesn't add up. If you watch The Godfather and you look at it, Don Corleone was the way he was. He was ruthless at times. He was this, but Luca Brasi, who was one of the most feared men in that book, if you read the book as well as in that fictional mob world, Luca Brasi feared him. Other men feared Don Corleone. That lets you know everything you need to know about Don Corleone, and that was Bobby. And that's how you have to be as a coach. You need hitters. Like I always joke with Toby, I'll take the hit for you. And I tell him, be Bobby Bowden. Let us be the assholes so that you don't have to be the asshole.
He needs a wartime.
He needs a wartime consigliere. He doesn't have a wartime consigliere. I've offered it. Bring me on. I'm telling you, dog, you'll be killing. We'll be killing it in Florida. We can't get that person. You're going to make an offer he can't refuse. You're going to say, what's the thing? A plata or port, was it? What one of them, my man? Yeah, plomo or plato. Like, you're going to take the fucking bread or you're going to be dead. Like, that's what or you're going to take the lead. Watch how we recruit. Watch how Florida State start recruiting. They be like, damn, James cut his dreads. He looks fucking like a Dominican. He looks like a fucking mobster.
FSU to death row.
FSU, yeah, we're going to come in there, come in the mean streets. My dad said that I got to go to Miami. Okay, I'm okay. Oh, don't worry about it. We're good. I'll see you later. No. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later. And the next thing you know, it's a horse in that man's bed with his head cut off. You come to or a hurricane fucking hits his house or something like that. Like, it's just like, yeah, Boucher could definitely. Watch Hey, Boucher definitely could be that. Boucher, hey man, I'm not here to Boucher. Again, y'all let the scriptures and shit for you, man. Everybody got was it every saint was a sinner or some shit like that? Like everybody got a pass. Tell you $250,000, give me a budget and turn your head. You get everybody. You get everybody you want. That's all I can say, man. Like, he needs some hitters. That's all, man. But I have faith. And if they don't, then shit, he'll be fired. I'm not finna. They can't hurt me anymore. Like I won't allow them to hurt me. Hell, Devin was over here in Jacksonville over the last weekend. I was gone. But you think I got a fucking phone call? I get no call, man. I'm like, damn, dog, you went everywhere but the person who drove your ass from Jacksonville to Tallahassee when you first came in. Like, it's how the streets remember you, man. It's all good, man. I love those guys. I want them to be successful, but if they're not, then we'll have a new coach. Like, that's all that matters. But, like, do or don't. I'm not finna be crying here on social media every day. But you got the schedule up. I'm telling you, dog, there's 8 wins. Everything we need to know, we will know. That game's on a Monday? Wow. I did not realize that. Oh, we tailgating. We tailgating for real. September 7th. Everything we need to know about Florida State, we will know by midnight of September 8th. If them boys knock off SMU at Doak, and then we have 2 weeks to get ready for Alabama, Florida State has the potential to be 4-0, really 5-0 going into Louisville.
You're gonna get these people's hopes up.
Now, Louisville's a tough place to play on Friday nights. I'm going to Miami. I have zero expectations for going down there besides having a great time. I'm going to enjoy some empanadas, and I'm going to get a guava pastry and some Cuban coffee. It's going to be delicious. Can't wait. Hopefully we have a bye week for my team. The Clemson game, I don't know, but like, Boston College, Pitt, there's 8 wins there, dog. It all depends on SMU, though. I think those boys could beat SMU. Even though I think Rhett Lashley is a really good coach. Now, if Rhett Lashley comes in here and gives us 30 lashes, that's who I want to be my next head coach. Because Rhett Lashley, but I don't think, we will have, the only thing we have over SMU right now is facilities, the recruiting base. SMU has the bread, but SMU is not going to outspend Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M. There's a lot of Texas out there that they're going to have to outspend. Where Florida has just a talent pool that's so rich. And they don't even tap into, like Tallahassee in and of itself right now Tallahassee has 10 plus premium prospects that they haven't even locked into yet. And that's not even coming to Jacksonville. That's not even coming to Lake. Lake City has a top DB and a top wide receiver. They have 2 4-stars on their roster right now. For the class of 2027. Pensacola has a 3-star DB that I've been talking to that I didn't even know was even like that. He kind of hit us up. Hopefully he'll be with us at the 7s this weekend. There's a ton of talent that they can cast their net. To quote my boy Grimes, they can go, all you need to do to recruit well at Florida State is do a 250-mile radius. Find a couple things in Miami that you like, but you don't even have to really go that far. 250-mile radius. If you lock that down, you get the linemen you want, you get some skill players that you want, and then you can go and poach from other different places, back and forth that you want. And it doesn't take a lot. It's not a lot of brain in that. But yeah. I don't I just that roster, it's still a tough schedule though. Like, can you pull up can we find Miami's schedule? Like, I wish we could put 2 screens up here just so we can compare it. It doesn't. The ACC hates Florida State from a scheduling perspective. But this is also for a Miami fan why Florida State consistently will make the most money in their in the TV ratings, regardless of if we win or lose. So like when you look at this, I'll actually, it's not really fair. My bad. Traditionally speaking, this is a tough thing for Miami, but Stanford is a win. I love Quinn to death, but they got to go at Stanford, so they got to fly to Cali. But they play at Quinn and them on a Thursday. I think I want to go to that game. It's a lot of orange and green. They should be 4-0 headed into Clemson. But they have Clemson, Florida State, Pitt. That 5 game, can I be candid? This is the hardest schedule Miami's had in a while. On paper. That's 5 games that if they go undefeated in that right there, kudos to them. 2 of them on the road back to back like that. North Carolina, Notre Dame. Virginia Tech has a better coach, so I don't know what they'll be like, but I do believe they'll be much improved. But where it's weak, but they do have some. Man, they cannot blink on that Clemson, Florida State, Pitt, North Carolina, Notre Dame stretch. They cannot blink on that. My bad. I was about to besmirch Miami. But yeah.
All right, we got some excuse me, sorry about that. We have some news about the new LSU GM. He was the former Ole Miss GM, but he went along to LSU with Lane Kiffin. So this new GM is Billy Glasscock, and we have some news about Mr. Billy. Let's get this shared to you so we can dive into the conversation about quote unquote value in this NIL market. A word that's been thrown around a lot and has been confused, used, and utilized for a lot of different reasons. But we got this post pulled up right here for you guys, courtesy of On Three. So first things first, former Ole Miss and new LSU GM Billy Glasscock says they assign a letter grade.
Yo, you gotta see. There's no way we could go without saying pause on that.
I just wanted to see how long I could,
Like,
how long I
yo,
had.
that's so. I don't know what the movie was, but I just saw something pop up, and like there was like an Amish family, and their last name was Dix, and they named their daughter Chastity Dix, Anita Dix, and it was just like the Dicks were hanging out with the but it's just Glasscock is a wild name to have, man. Like that's just a name that I would just. There's some names that when you get old enough, you just say, you know what, I gotta change it. Like there's got to be something better than. But anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
So he said, quote, "We spent our money better than everybody else at Ole Miss. That's why they won. We spent our money better. We didn't have a lot of high-priced guys standing on the sideline holding a clipboard." And then Andy Staples of On Three used this quote from the GM to explain why it's going to be really hard to stack talent. Markets find their level. Quote, "The guy who backs up for us, the fifth corner for us, is going to get 3 times the amount of money to go to an ACC school. His agent goes, you're not even paying him market value. No, he's a fifth corner for me. I can't pay the fifth corner what I pay my starting corner. Well, you're not paying him market value. No, the market is incorrect. Those teams aren't us. Our backups are their best players. Of course, they're going to pay them that. They have their money to spend too, unquote. Do you think this perfectly?
Damn, man, Glasscock got some Jaden. But Jada was basically saying this is why there's terms again. This is why civics is important to teach. One of the things that makes America great is capitalism, and one of the tenets of capitalism is the market always corrects itself. It will. It just have to give it time, and he's 100% right. Like you have to know that you have to know what your role, what your place is in this. And it's why I always tell kids, like, what is the important to you? How much money is good? You could go there and leave somewhere and go get $500,000 just like the guys who are the starters or whatever the number is. But you might not go to the NFL. Or you can wait your turn and be able to come in and fight and get what you need to get. It's just a process. Like money is money, and you have to have what I believe the good schools have, or what I know the good schools to have, is they have a basically a salary cap for that room. So our QB room, let's say our QB room is worth $10 million. We pay our starter 6, we pay our first backup 3, and we pay our third backup 1. Maybe my third backup can go get 6 from somewhere else. That's fine. Go do your thing. I'm going to always value that third slot at that much money. Now, when you go from the third slot, go to the second slot, then boom, just fight. And there may be variations and things, and that's just me just throwing a number out there. I have no idea how much some other people pay. But at the end of the day, do you want to make money forever or do you want to make money for today? And you have to be able to win. Eventually, you have to be able to play. And you can't just go to 5 different stops because eventually they're not going to draft you. And that's also the market correcting itself. People just have to realize that the market will eventually always correct itself. You got yourself unmuted, Jaden?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Got booted out. But I was just wondering if you heard the question I posed you about if that summed up the kind of the dilemma in terms of value and market value within different schools, but you summed it up pretty well. So you answered my question regardless. If you heard it or not, just asking. But yeah, I thought this was an interesting post from the LSUGM, just talking about some specific, not really specific, just opening the conversation to team values and different teams' valuations of players, and like you said, how different teams have the cap limits for each room. I just think it's all good information to have in this ever-changing college football format because, James, like they try to keep politics out of sports, but somehow always comes back because, according to Ross Dellinger, a White House committee is suddenly taking an interest in the college football playoff and believes the postseason should expand to 24 teams. We are currently in the 12-team college football playoff. We're not even in the 16. We're not even in the 18, the 20. They want to jump from 12 all the way to 24, doubling it. So this week here in Dallas, expansion discussions are expected to reignite. So there is a coalescing around 24 in quotes. Not sure who that is quoting, but James, White House committee suddenly taking an interest in college football playoff, but I assume the issue wouldn't be with that in itself, but would you have more of an issue with it being 24 teams taking that big jump from 12 to 24 or what?
I think this is watering it down entirely too much. And unless they really go and truly make it they got to truly make it like the NFL, if that's the goal. You got to make it to where we eliminate conference championships. We really eliminate conferences, unless it's like a divisional thing. And there's just too many teams for it to be that, like, I can't play 24 games. Or like maybe again, here's my fix for it. All right, let's say you do keep your conferences, right? Well, not all conferences are created equal, but not all divisions in the NFL are created equal either. But we go and we make the SEC championship one of the playoff games. And depending upon what that record is and where those people would seed, we don't punish them for losing. They still get a chance to go. If you make it to the conference championship game, you get an auto bid. But maybe if you win your conference, you get a bye week. So like losing essentially puts you into, you can either host the game or whatever. But like, let's say you have to play that next week against the teams that, now is it fair still? No, because you had to essentially play a play-in game. Or you can, I don't really know how you do this shit. Make it, but like, there is something about winning your conference that's supposed to mean something, but the more they add, the more it dilutes that. But 2014, there aren't 24 teams that realistically have a chance, in my opinion, to win. Like, how does that even look? Like, I mean, I should know this at this point. I basically play in this. Basically, you know what? That might be why 7-on-7 is important. So basically, the season is pool play, and they just rank you. I just like hell. There weren't clearly there weren't that many good teams in our 7-on-7. That we beat the shit out of the first two teams in the first two rounds of the playoffs. Now we played a team that we blew out the first day, like, but we ran out of gas. But you I just don't understand. I don't like politics coming into this, and this is just like nobody wants to talk about what's really ruining sports. Money is ruining sports. Money is definitely ruining sports. It ain't the NIL. That shit is ruining sports. Like, I don't want to see it, but I'm gonna watch it because I like football. I'm demented like that. But that ain't really a good product. I don't know. But I do know Miami peaking at the right time helps that argument because the number 10 team played the number 1 team and almost had a shot to win. So that gives more credence to be able to, because there was an argument about if Miami should even be in the conversation. But I don't know.
Here are ESPN's top QBs heading into the 2026 season. Now we know last year's top QBs heading into the season list change from before, during, and after the season. I remember the likes of Lenore Sellers, Klubnik being on that list, and a couple other QBs as well. And based on the season, injuries, whatever, these lists change. But according to ESPN, they want you to keep an eye out on these guys: CJ Carr, Notre Dame; Julian Sand, Trinidad Chambliss coming back to the Rebels; Arch Manning, Jaden Mavia; Dante Moore coming back to the Oregon Ducks. Was a big deal that he actually didn't put his name in the draft, or he revoked his name from the draft. Dismissing the draft to stay one more year at Oregon. Drew Mestemaker was the UNT North Texas quarterback last year that was balling. Gunnar Stockton, Brennan Sorsby, the $5 million man allegedly, and Byron Brown, the USF transfer in Auburn. James, out of these 10 QBs right here, which do you think will be the most successful in terms of having a good season next year? Do you think Sayin with Jeremiah Smith and company? Do you think Arch Manning will take that next step, or will Dante Moore improve his draft stock even more?
I think this is a much better quarterback class. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with Arch. Arch has a good wide receiver in Cam Coleman. A lot of people don't want to argue about that, but yeah, the guy who's missing on this is Mensa for Miami. But Julian Sayin has the best wide receiver, has the best player in the nation that plays with him. But Trinidad James was my favorite quarterback to watch. He's older. He's got more notoriety now. He's understanding the speed of the game. He went from, I believe, D2 to playing on the D1 level, and just there's a lot to be able to say about that. I have as much faith in a Georgia quarterback as Georgia Bulldog players have in the Athens police department. Oklahoma State, nope. And we just talked about Brown. I think he's finna be in a rude awakening for the SEC. But the CJ Carr, I watched him live against Miami, and it was just okay. Um saying Trinidad Arch and Moore would probably be the four guys that I believe that will be this. There'll be six other quarterbacks that I believe finish the season better than those other guys.
All right, we have to do our regular list Twitter post, and this was one that I thought was pretty interesting. I wanted to share this with you and you all so you can dive into the discourse along with us. Let's look at the top 25 helmets in college football according to 247 Sports. Gonna share this with you guys, and we gonna see where they have some of the most legendary college football helmets. First off, this list doesn't even have the Seminoles, so we can't even judge it properly.
It doesn't
Just
have who?
this, I'm just playing. It does at
Oh,
number 9,
yeah,
but
but that's crazy though.
yes, it doesn't have us in the proper place. 9 is crazy, but let's take a look at the top 10. We got Ohio State. I believe that's Penn State, Notre Dame, Miami, Bama, Michigan, Texas, LSU, us, and USC. And then you got some other notable schools in the mix, like the Gators at 13. Surprising school, North Carolina at 16. There's a couple surprising ones on here. Well, and you have UCLA to finish out the list. But James, how would you change this list right here? What's your list? What's your top 25 helmets in college football?
Alabama's not on the list. Oh no, they're five.
Alabama is
That's
5.
they're
I
five.
personally think the gold Notre Dame is quite overrated.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a gold helmet. Get that out of here. A white helmet with a blue stripe and a number. Get that out of here. The U, it's just not a cool helmet. Like Michigan's helmet is cool. LSU helmet is cool. Florida State's helmet is cool. USC's helmet is cool. You can't tell me that at number 12, Oregon's helmet isn't cooler than most of that shit. I like North Carolina State's helmet. I think a lot of the things that we got to realize with the helmet is it also has to do with how the logo looks on it. And Ohio State's only looks good because it got a bunch of Buckeye patches on it. So if you stink at Ohio State, your helmet sucks. But I also like it's unique in the color scheme. Why is Wyoming on this list? Like, there's not a goddamn thing cool about Wyoming's helmet. Florida State's helmet is way cooler than everybody else, though. Let's go. We can analyze this helmet because we have. Oh, we go right here. See, like them Hawks right there, matched up with that. Man, you can't tell me that's not better than everybody else's. I might be biased on that one. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little biased, but I don't know how they got to the numbers. They must have just but this is list Twitter, so they probably even voted, had people vote. And Miami hot right now. I think I like Virginia Tech's helmet too, because just because it's different. I definitely don't like orange, and I definitely don't like Florida's helmet. And that's not nothing because I don't like Florida. I just don't like. I truly don't like the helmets.
Let's move on to some Jaguars news. So let's get into this Jags content in our NFL section to kick things off. So, James, according to Sleeper NFL, per Tony Pauline, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, if Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price starts to slip in round 2, The Jaguars will attempt to package picks and move up to select him. Jaguars currently have the 56th pick in the second round, and they would hopefully move up to select Jadari Price. So, per Mr. Tony James, if this actually happens and the Jags end up biting the bullet and going to get a Jadarian Price, would you be upset with this move from Gladstone and company? And if so, or if not so, why?
I would be upset because we'd be drafting a guy in the second round who is the number 2 running back. 674 yards, six yards per carry, 11 touchdowns on last season. Not a dynamic receiver out of the backfield either. 6 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, something that he's never done that I always enjoy reading on a running back is he's never fumbled the ball. So I appreciate that very much so. But when I look at what Gladstone does, like you don't like package picks to come up to draft a guy at that position. Now that when that guy could probably be there, will be there for you. Like it's not like they're gonna make a run. They've never traditionally, like Jordan Love has talked about being a top 10, top 5 pick right now. They've never really in recent history, or even in the former, like have made a run on running backs like that. Like they do have him like right now. Even if I looked at their big board, the Jaguars draft at 56. Jadarian Price is the 56th ranked prospect, but if he's gone, you have Mike Washington. You have a young man whose jersey I would love to buy because I could wear it, and my sons can wear it because his last name is Coleman. You have a Jonah Coleman. You've got Nebraska's running back. You've got Penn State's running back. There's running backs that are there that you can go pick that you could get when there's a bigger need for you right now. You kind of fulfilled that need for D tackle with what you did, right? You with making the swap from Mason Smith to Aurora row your boat. You do need a linebacker, and there are linebackers that should be available for you to be able to get at that pick. You don't need 10 picks. I will agree to that. But what you would have to package together to be able to get in the second round is going to be a lot more than what you probably need to give up in order to draft a running back. When the running backs you have are further proof that you don't need to go too high to draft a running back because you're okay at running back. And you just brought in a guy in Rodriguez that you have history with, your OC has history with, because his best year in college was when your head coach was the OC at Kentucky. So you have the guys, you have the pieces. Like that would be a unnecessary reach, which Gladstone doesn't tend to make. And one thing we can all kind of still argue because it's still in flux is that he already made an unnecessary reach in the draft last year, trading his first round pick and as well as other different things to package up to go get a kid who we would consider is a phenomenal prospect that just has not shown us that yet due to injury and due to them probably trying to do too much. When his best stat was the amount of plays he made, not the amount of picks, not the amount of catches, but the amount of plays he made. He's the first person in Heisman Trophy history to win a Heisman based upon how many times he was on the field. And that's in Travis Hunter. I don't see them doing that again. Doesn't make any sense.
Jaguars have done this, though. They have exercised the 5th-year option on offensive lineman Anton Harrison. Just giving you guys an update with.
It's a massive human being. That's a good move.
Shout out to him. Definitely a force of nature on that football field. And Sleeper Jaguars decided to pose this question: What's the worst draft in the Jaguars franchise history? And they actually came up with
2007.
2008.
I bet that's it. 2008. Yep, that was the worst draft. That's what I was thinking about when they took the back-to-back DNs and picks.
So they did take back-to-back defensive edges, Derek Harvey and Quentin Groves, and they took Thomas Williams, Trey Williams, and Chauncey Washington. So, fun fact, these 5 only started 39 games for the Jaguars, with 32 of those 39 games coming from Derek Harvey alone. So the 4 other players the Jags drafted only started 7 times.
One of them became a weed person, if I remember correctly. Might have been Groves. Groves was from Auburn, right? Or was it Harvey the one was from Auburn? But I'll say a close second would be the first draft post Jalen Ramsey with CJ Henderson and Clavicle Chalison or Clavicle Chalice. The boy from LSU that's actually having a pretty decent career right now. But his name was Sack Guru and he never had sacks. And everybody got mad at me for bringing up some shit like that. But like none of them made a play that ever mattered. Matter of fact, CJ Henderson went crazy. Like we noticed that he had then we ended up trading him to Carolina for him to like for pennies, for a bag of Lay's potato chips, plain Lay's potato chips. Also, the year that we didn't get Lamar Jackson should be up there. When we got the kid who I just don't think is a good person at all. The D tackle from Florida. But he was also a late round pick, so I don't give him that bad of a but he was just a terrible player. I knew he was awful when I watched damn, what is that D tackle's name? I used to say on 1010 I think he hates Jacksonville. And he's probably an awful person. But he was getting his ass whooped by one of our centers at Florida State after we made the first the Miles Jack wasn't down year.
Taven Bryan.
You said who?
Taven Bryan.
Oh yeah, Taven Bryan was a terrible person.
That was your guy.
I hated Taven. But he was getting his ass whooped by our center at Florida State, and that was one of our worst centers we've ever had. That's when I knew I didn't want him. Like you ever watch something and be like, oh, we suck. And you're watching it and he's getting his ass whooped by our worst center that we've ever had.
He gave you the ick.
It made my stomach bother me. And then I'm sitting here like, oh, well, that's a Tom Coughlin guy. I said, I don't want a fucking Tom Coughlin guy then. I hate they use all the fucking stereotypes that we fucking use. He's a first in. He's a hard worker. He just goes in there and lifts weights and blah, blah, blah. Like now that we talking about worst drafts, man, there's some bad drafts, though. Some bad, that 2008 draft, that was before I got into media. I just remember because I remember I was looking, Harvey ended up getting, which I had no idea. I wasn't competing. They had just built the high rises in downtown Jacks, like the condos, okay. The Strand, I believe is the name of it. And one of the girls who worked with me at the time, she lived across from there, and it was really nice. And I would go down there, and man, they gave me the tour, and I went up to the top, like to the penthouse, and I was looking over, and I was like, damn, this is a great view, incredible. You can see the stadium, it's a river. It wasn't as much construction and stuff down there, but it looked really nice for a guy like me. You know, it ain't Miami, but you know, for Jacksonville, it was good. I was like, damn, I'm sitting there thinking, and it had a balcony. So you know how much ass you could get on this balcony just alone? Just like, then I saw the prices. I was like, no. And they were like, well, it's already being rented out by this guy right here. And I'm like, damn, okay. Well, that makes sense. But man, it's been some bad drafts, man. Was that my guy though? No, that wasn't. No, my guy wasn't here yet. Then Caldwell was. That wasn't Caldwell. That was a Tank, I believe that had that draft. Luke Jokel, a lot of fans was commenting, making comments. Luke Jokel wasn't bad. Luke Jokel just didn't deserve to be the number 1 overall pick. How I judge draft picks is, did you get a second contract? Like how you got, like where you got picked at was like, you know, you shouldn't have got picked that high. It's not your fault that you got picked that high. But like, I do remember Luke Jokel and thinking that was a joke. Man, I really wish Justin Blackmon was like we could just like this is where the NFL has crazy rules, man. That man, weed and alcohol. Actually, I think he was a crackhead. He played like a crackhead. Like I would envision a crackhead play. The few games he played, he was fucking dynamic. Him and then the dude from the Browns were stolen from us. Just because you smoke a little weed or you drink a little bit, Josh Gordon, like come on, dog. Clearly they're functioning.
Man, he was gonna be so good.
Like clearly they're really good. Leave them be.
For real.
Like there's some people that I've had some I couldn't be that guy. Weed absolutely wrecks me. I go to sleep. I am slumped. It doesn't matter what kind it is. I'm going to bed. I'm going night-night. They started, my boy Reggie tried, well, there's indica, and then there's sativa, and if you do this blend, it all does the exact same thing to me, dog. I'm a zombie. That's why I don't like it. I don't like not being in control of my body. I got to be somewhere where I don't believe anything bad will happen to me because I'll be panicking. But I know some guys that can smoke weed. And I think it focuses them because they're so wild that they need to slow down a little bit. Sportsmart, Blaine Gabbert, that is a good one. I remember where I was at when Blaine Gabbert got drafted. 1010 Excel did a draft party every year. And I was invited to this. This is before I went on the air with them. And Rick Ballou invited me out there. I went out and the draft party is over once they made their pick. They were like, I think like number 20 that year, and then they traded into the top 10. But Blaine Gabbert was because they made a run. I believe that was the same year that Christian Ponder got drafted in the first round. For those who don't know, Christian Ponder was the first ever FSU quarterback to be drafted in the first round. And then backed it up with EJ Manuel. I hate to say those guys aren't even, this is no hate to the brotherhood because I think EJ is a great guy, but they're not top 10 quarterbacks at Florida State. Like Christian Ponder's never won an ACC championship. EJ barely won one. Yeah. They made a run that year. It was so many quarterbacks got drafted like before they were supposed to get drafted. And so that's the fun part with the draft is when things happen that nobody expected, and then it changes everybody's draft board. But again, nobody was worse than them two defensive ends. Taven Bryant is one of the worst Jacksonville Jaguars to have ever suited up. Not one of the worst first round picks. He's one of the worst Jaguars to have ever played. Period. Like, there's not a positive quality. We went to training camp. I have never seen somebody like the first round pick they lost. The coach said, we'll leave when Taven wins a rep. He was going against undrafted rookie free agents. He didn't win a rep. Who's the big dude? The DN from I can't think of his name. DN from Miami that played for us. He had to go over and say, "Hey man, let him win." Like Taven lost every rep, bro, and they were trying to tell me that he was good, and I'm like, no, he's not. He's not good at anything. He's not good at Sudoku. He's not good in Scrabble. Not a fucking thing. What did Taven do to get drafted so high? He had pictures of Tom Coughlin's daughter in compromised positions, maybe. I don't know. He knew where the money for the Tom Coughlin Fund really went. And it wasn't for kids with cancer or some shit. I don't know, man, but like that didn't make any sense. There are like, just Taven was a bad moment. Like Taven was trash.
It was a bad moment. This is like a toxic ex.
Yeah, like it was saying, like that's what Taven. And then they just kept him.
Surviving Taven.
Yeah, I'm like, dog. The Jags got better once they cut. That's why they got good. The minute they cut Taven, it wasn't about Urban. It was the minute they cut Taven, everything shifted on the up and up for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But clavicle chasing and C.J. Henderson, the fact that you had two top 10, like you had a top 10 pick, you picked the guy in the top 10, two top 15 picks that didn't do a goddamn thing with you.
Damn. Did one of them end up getting better? Who was it that ended up?
Clavicle chasing made some sacks. I think he's with, I don't know who he's with, but this man I had more sacks than him in the NFL than he had. And he was like picked like 12 or some shit like that. And what was crazy about it, or maybe it was top 20. Maybe it was top 20. And what was wild to me about what Dave said was that if he was if CJ Henderson was gone, they would have took him where they took CJ Henderson. And I said, so you wanted to draft him earlier? That's when I was like, my dog is checked the fuck out. He don't give a shit about being here no more.
James, who is the best Jags player of all times and best draft pick of all time?
Oh, well, you just got to go with the guy who's in the Hall of Fame. It was the first draft pick they had. Damn, I'm fucking having a CTE moment today. Like the left tackle was that
Tony Baselli. Tony Baselli.
Yeah, damn, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. Tony Baselli is easy. That's what you have to go with. But after him, I know nobody wants to admit this, but Blake Bortles, dog. Blake Bortles took you one game away from it all.
He has a special place.
No, that's disrespectful to Freddie T.
Freddie T would be number 2. Freddie T is the best Jaguar of all time to me. Like Freddie T is, if I had to like, yeah, Freddie T is the best.
Where would you put the short bowling ball?
I think for value, he's top 5 because you got him late in the first round, if I remember correctly, but you weren't looking for him. Because I forgot they picked him or Mercedes Lewis. They got it first. Yeah. They were both in the same draft. Mercedes Lewis would be a guy that would be considered a really, really good draft pick. But Mojo is the reason why I didn't get picked up. Why I didn't get the Jags called me and they were they called me before the draft. That was one of the teams I talked to. I was so excited because it was around the corner from the house. I was like, yeah, I hated the city of Jacksonville before that. But I was like, yeah, shit, you can rent me a check. Mama could come in, like, hell yeah, I'll go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't wait. They were considering like drafting me 6th or 7th round, but they had Greg Jones. They drafted Greg Jones and he was the running back. But when they got Maurice Jones-Drew, again, he has 2 last names. So that lets you know everything about how I feel about him in real life. He was good, but he's 2 last names and I still like him. But that's when they changed Greg's position from running back and they moved him to fullback. And they were like, now we're going to make this work as opposed to what's already on the roster, what they already are paying for. And it ended up working out for them. And it didn't work out for me. It worked out. I just, I probably wouldn't have ate as good if I went to Jacksonville as opposed to New Orleans. I don't like Jenkins barbecue. I think it's trash.
It isn't good.
Like, I don't know why. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's damn sure it doesn't hold a nothing to my boy Cheese at his barbecue. Definitely not my dog Freddie. Like, y'all talk about Jiggers and some dude in the Jerome. I ain't never had the Jerome Brown stuff, but like y'all just like black ass names with barbecue. Like, it don't make no sense. Like Jerome Brown barbecue. Like, I ain't never had no damn Jerome Brown barbecue. I don't want no damn Jerome Brown barbecue. Fuck Jerome Brown and his barbecue. And Jenkins, man, I went there and got like the bones was like, it was dry. And they put the mustard sauce on it. And like, I ain't want no damn mustard sauce. I wanted some sweet sauce. But like, when you go and I want the sauce to soak into the damn bread.
Yeah.
And like, that's really my favorite part, is after I eat the rib, is just eating the bread and the sauce. And there was no fat drippings from the rib because the rib was burnt, basically. And I said, I ain't never going to this shit again. Like, it was Jenkins off of Emerson. It was right down the street from where I was working. I was hungry, and it was like I paid like $15 back in 2007.
You went to the wrong one, man. You went to the
Clearly,
wrong one.
I went to the wrong one, but I was like, I ain't never give Jenkins, man. You got to get Jenkins. I'm like, all right, well, cool, man. I'm gonna go get some Jenkins, man. Fuck Jenkins. like I should have just went to, like, be honest with you, I should just went to Bono's. If I was going, like, at least I know what I'm getting from Bono's. Yeah. It's consistent.
Consistently bland.
It's definitely mid, but mid sells when it's the same, dog. Like, and their garlic bread is fucking fire. Them and Sundays. But, you know, I digress. But anyways, that's what the problem with Jacksonville. I would have got but I didn't know what Jacksonville was really known for at that moment. I did learn, though. I sure enough did learn.
Youth sports?
Not even that.
Crabs?
Known for that. Fucking crab trays.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know Jacksonville was known for the crab trays. I found out a few months later, and I'm like, all right, one thing we gonna get right is a goddamn crab tray. Okay, it's hard to fuck up a crab tray. But yeah, I don't really know Jerome personally or any of his people personally. They're probably good people. Actually, the sauce is probably good. I just never had it. I just don't want to try them because of Jenkins. That's why I don't want to try it. But anyways, my bad.
So these are some mock drafts for the Jaguars from Jordan Reed. So with the first pick, if they keep their 56th pick, Jordan Reed got them selecting Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker from Texas.
Jordan been listening to the First Coast News because that's what I said. But Jordan Reed is good. That's one of my favorite guys. I got a chance to meet him in the combine a couple years ago. Real humble guy for a guy who everybody kind of listens to. So good people, man. But Anthony Hill is one of those, again, reminds you of Miles Jack. Fast, athletic linebacker, pretty good in coverage. Doesn't necessarily give you excuse me, not Miles Jack. Let's say Miles Jack. Devin Lloyd. But Devin Lloyd didn't necessarily give you that much in the run game as much as he gave you in the passing game.
You had some other players as well with pick 81. You have defensive tackle Tyler Onyedem from TAMU. Pick 88, you have edge Joshua Joseph, Tennessee. Pick 100, Sam Roush, tight end from Stanford. You have some more picks as well. You even have a Gator on this list, as well as a Bulldog to round out the 11 or 10 picks the Jaguars have this year.
I ain't gonna hold you. If that's how it goes,
11.
I like 5 of those 6 picks, those first 6 picks. I don't like that picture looks mid. Like, no, I don't really, I just like that don't look like a good ass safety to me. That looks like barbecue chicken. That's what that looks like. That looks like them Jenkins barbecue ribs that I was talking about. Like we are going after that and we just tossing that in the trash. But yeah.
Kickers are people, James, and Brandon Aubrey is proving you wrong each and every day. So we got some great news coming from Adam Schefter. Brandon Aubrey and the Cowboys reach an agreement today that will make him the highest paid kicker in NFL history. Excuse me. The 4-year extension makes Aubrey the first kicker to earn $7 million per year and receive $20 million guaranteed. Shout out to Brandon Aubrey, the highest paid kicker in NFL history, earning $7 million per year, James. Whew.
One thing Jerry Jones gonna do is overpay somebody. So that's
He can't miss.
I mean,
Getting paid that much, the pressure is gonna be on every PAT.
that's what I'll be looking at. Imagine you're a guy who gets your ass whooped every day in practice. And you come out here and you see a damn kicker getting paid that kind of money.
More than you.
And he misses.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shout out to Brendan Aubrey. He is the king of our Money Moves segment of the day. Getting that chicken. Although Mr. Aubrey has been feeling nice, and especially with all this media attention, with all this money, somebody hasn't been feeling so nice, James, and they actually made a statement to the Patriots media. None other than head coach Mike Vrabel discussing the dilemmas with the Diana Rossini situationship, entanglement, PI fiasco, if you will. But this is what Mike Vrabel had to say during Tuesday's media availability. So, quote, I've had some difficult conversations with people I care about. My family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. We believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me. That starts with me. James, he talked to his family, James. I just want to leave it at that. He's talked to his family.
I mean, that's just, again, one of the things that we get caught up in America, and I'm not here to tell everybody's relationships don't have to look the same. They're I hear people all the time say the dating pool got pee in it or something like that. Like it's bad, right? It's real. It's bad out here. The man work a lot. The man don't bother you. The man provides. The man does a lot of different things. He didn't try to have his shit out in the streets like that. Some nosy ass reporter did. So if he came out to you, and that's how secure he is in his relationship and in his job. Women love to say if you ain't got a lie to kick it, the man didn't lie. Maybe his wife understands the game and who he is, and she's okay with it. A lot of assumptions are being made for people who have never been in this situation and can't even get to that kind of person. Maybe this woman realizes that she has one of the bad bitches in the world, like on the men's side. I just saw something, I posted this about 4 or 5 years ago, that athletes and entertainers are the bad bitches of the men on the men's side. Maybe she likes the perks. The players all understand the game. I don't need my coach to be faithful. I don't need my coach to be a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, whatever it is. I don't need any of that. You know what I need my coach to do? Win. And help me win. And I think we get lost in, are you good at your job? You can't say I'm not consistent. What did I say about the one thing I said? She kind of mid. Is she a good writer or is she not a good writer? I don't care what she does in her personal life. Now, her husband doesn't feel like that. That's his right and his prerogative. Maybe has she not like talked so bad about her husband or just talked about him. This is why sometimes we won't know. Like, don't bring up your personal business into your business unless it really matches. Because now you have leveraged your family into your career, and so now it's able to be judged. Had you just kept that shit to yourself, we wouldn't know. But you said you got an ugly husband. You said you called him mid. You called him all. You wanted to talk like a man, like what you perceive a man's talk or locker room talk so bad that now you have to face the consequences for those things. I have never known Mike Vrabel to be a family man. Be honest with you, I don't know shit about Mike Vrabel. Besides, Mike Vrabel kind of didn't do his thing in Tennessee, but that he understands the Patriot way. So it's kind of like Steve Smith. Remember, wasn't a year ago, Steve Smith, the text message that I just I couldn't be with that woman after what she texted Steve. Like, oh my God, you put that thing all the way down my esophagus and I almost died. Or you pushed my she said she lost her IED or whatever, that IUD or whatever it is. Like, nah, I don't want to be with you anymore. Like, nah, why are you texting this guy? Okay, you cheated on me, but like, damn, dog. Yeah, that's much. Like you, like, yo, I've never been stretched that deep before. Like, God, I'm here. That's why people die. Yeah. So like, it's like, but Steve Smith, I never known Steve Smith to be a family guy anyway.
That's true.
Like, so like, because Steve Smith is good at his job. Americans, we elected a president that's got our president has 3 fucking baby mamas. There's no other way to go around it. He's got 3 baby mamas. I don't want to hear shit about family values anymore. But it's still wild though. But and people want to say it's a double standard, but it's not. Like, if she was like that, like, the difference is, she didn't tell us that they've cheated. Now we know you a lie. Now we know you a lying asshole. Because remember, what was her statement that she went out there? That she didn't admit to anything. The problem is she's trying to be the problem with misogyny, right, is that women don't understand that you're the perpetuators of misogyny and these roles that you feel people placed on it. She felt like she was doing what a man would do and deny. Now, do we see what the man in this situation did? He told the truth. And now he took the woman, what people would think would be the woman route. And now you out here looking like a homewrecker and a lying asshole.
Did he actually admit, or did he just say I had conversations?
He said, right, in the conversations that he talked about making mistakes.
Yeah.
He said it in such a smooth way that we know you told her.
Right.
And you know what we're gonna all say? Well, goddamn it, okay. Well, people make mistakes, Michael. Like, he didn't make it a spectacle. He didn't do all these different things. But I tell my female friends all the time, be careful. Don't shit where you eat. Now, you can't cover the Titans and fuck the coach.
If anything, to me, this shows that things are becoming more equal. Like, you are being treated like a man.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing is just how a man would be treated.
I honestly do not want to trade places with a woman. I don't want to go through this seems insane. Especially the amount of excuses that you guys get to make, but your bodies go through a crazy stuff. When you're going through puberty, then you get hit with the evil drains out of your system. For like, and to quote the most famous philosopher in TV history, Eric Cartman, I don't trust nothing that bleeds 4 to 6 days and doesn't die. So you bleed, you're born with all the eggs, all your reproductive stuff that day. Like, when you come out, you bleed while you're going through your regular hormone changes of trying to grow and things like that. Then, apparently 10 days out of the month, you're horny out of your fucking mind, but you don't want to have sex with nobody. Then you bleed. Then you're going through and when you're doing that, you're going through the depression that comes with that. Then one day you stop bleeding. You're about to stop bleeding, and now you're hot and you're cold. And you could be hot and cold in the same 5 minutes. Then if you get pregnant, you could go crazy because now your body's going through a whole bunch of hormonal changes. On top of that, for some reason, the world was designed for men to go fight for you and to bring stuff home. And then somebody convinced you that working is what you needed to do. And you have to go out there and get everything that, like, you want to die too. If a man can, anything you can do, I can do better. And I'm like, cool, I'll take my stuff because this is the hand I was dealt. Oh, yeah, my bad. Carrying a human out for 9 months, right? That you could die to have. I don't want that. I don't want that. But at the same time, some of the things that we got to go through, I don't think you should want these things. Like, it's not as cool over here as you think. But, she wanted to work. She talked like she was the breadwinner when her husband is the owner of Smashburger or some shit like that.
Really? I didn't know what.
Like, he is wealthy.
From her hits on the show, she basically would always make it seem like she was very busy. Her job, Woj and all those type of jobs is nuts. It's 24/7. Mm-hmm. They can be called out at any moment. So the husband has to take care of the home in a lot of ways. I didn't know he was also rich.
He was independently wealthy.
Why is he taking care of the home?
But it's like, it's a cool thing. Like, it's not. I'm busy. My phone rings. I have people say, like, well, you put your phone down for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But I am listening to you. Like, honestly, God's truth, there's a thing. If I'm looking right at you, I'm probably not paying attention to you. Like, it's just the way my mind is wired. But if I'm like texting, I'm because what you're saying is important to me, but I got to do this, I'm actually listening to you harder than what I would normally do.
We all have to multitask in this stage.
It's just a football play in general. I have to walk up to a line, diagnose it. The ball is snapped. I have to track another human being going at anywhere between 17 to 22 miles per hour and be able to meet them at a point while negotiating other fucking human beings in chaos that is going around me, not tripping over my own fucking foot. I have feet. There are advanced calculations that are going on in my head while I'm going to make a play. Do you not think I'm capable of listening to you rant about your fucking job and sending a LOL text at the same time? Just saying. But she's busy and you can't take these calls. Now, where it gets wild is when you are in this industry, like, there are things that you don't plan for. Like, if a coach does get fired, there's a press conference. And if you're a national writer, you may have to take a flight at the last minute. When I did the Final Four last year, I had no idea if Florida was going to win or not. We were covering Florida. So I could not make my arrangements until like a week before. And so you're doing certain things to try to be able to do that. But some of the stuff she probably felt like she had to work harder because she's in a male-dominated sport to be able to get the respect.
Right.
But it's not, like, you don't have to miss the Christmas party.
I mean,
like, you don't have to miss some of the things. Like, you may need to step out for a second, but it's really not as bad as you think. But the bigger part is, don't put your family in the public eye.
Yeah, that's the part right there.
Like, before I show Killer more now, but before I got into media, I was happy to be a dad. So Trey got a lot of stuff. People didn't know Killer was a real thing until he was about 3 or 4 years old, for real. Because I wasn't posting my baby boy like that. I posted my older one because I wasn't in the media at the time. But anyways, though, that's wild. Hopefully all of it works out to you. Oh, this is gonna be great right here.
Mike Tomlin is set to join NBC for Football Night in America. Tomlin will join host Maria Taylor, ex Cowboys coach Jason Garrett, and you also have Mr. McCourty on set as well. I think he's actually taking Tony Dungy's spot. We covered that Tony Dungy was stepping away from Football Night in America. And it looks like Mike Tomlin is taking Mr. Dungy's spot. So hopefully this will be entertaining. James, you think you would like to see Tomlin on TV as an analyst?
I would like to see Mike Tomlin. I think it's going to be fun.
Shout out to Mike T on this new venture. So the draft is this week, and we just want to give you guys the draft order. This is the current draft order. Now on draft day, teams move around and maneuver their picks as well. So this is the current NFL draft order as of right now. We're going to share it with you guys courtesy of Bleacher Report. Let's get it shared. It is right here. Perfect. So the first pick, you obviously have the Raiders, and then you have the Jets, Cardinals, the Titans, Giants, Browns, Commanders, Saints, Kansas City Chiefs, the Giants, the Dolphins, Cowboys, Rams, Baltimore Ravens, Bucks, Jets, Lions, Vikings, Panthers. You got the Cowboys again. The Steelers, Chargers, Eagles. You got the Browns with the pick from the Jaguars from Travis Hunter last year. The Bears, Bills, Niners, Texans. The Chiefs again. The Dolphins, Patriots, and finally the Seattle Seahawks to round out your draft order, your current, that is, draft order as well.
Mm.
So this is the current draft order. Now these are subject to change, probably are going to change a lot, but man, Giants have a 5 and a number 10 pick. The Giants have 2 top 10 picks in this year's draft. Let's see what they do with them. If they keep them, package them up for something else, for a player or what. But this is the deal.
Mm. Yeah, I would definitely try to package out to kick the can down the road next year. But I mean, it's an incredible draft capital to have. I think the Chiefs will probably end up being the ones who do that too. So they know how to draft what they need.
Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. But let's take a quick look at the total contracts for each of the first round picks. So these are the total 4-year contract values for each of the first round draft picks for this year's draft. Thought this was an interesting post to have. And let's start off with the first value on this contract on this post. So the first overall pick gets $54.6 million in his 4-year rookie deal. Second pick gets 52.1. Third pick gets 50.5 million as well. And then it drops into the 40s at the fourth pick to 48.7. Sixth overall pick is 40. The ninth overall pick is 30.8 million. 12th overall is 12 million. 12th overall is 25 million. Excuse me. And then the 20th pick is $20 million. And lastly, the 32nd pick is $16.2 million. So it actually ranges from 54.6 million for the first overall pick to $16.2 million for the last pick in the first round of the NFL draft. So some numbers for you guys as well.
Mm. Those are it's good money, man. Life changing money. Gotta love it for him. I can't wait to see some guys get to do some stuff that I wish I could do. I wish I could get paid that kind of bread.
Shout out to them. We have our big Games BS section, and we are on our BS or Bussin' Food review segment. But before we get to the food review segment, James, I got something to pull up. But going back to that NFL stats conversation, man.
He got kicked out again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I was
Like,
so excited to tell you about this thing.
going back to that man. Boom.
Was it Miami or
I think it's the BS of Bussin'
okay?
is where we're at.
Ugh.
Looks bad like that.
God, please. Okay. You remember when the ketchup was like green and all those weird colors?
Nah, I don't want no green ketchup. I like fried green. Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Cotton candy fries.
Just,
Why would I want cotton candy fries though? There's got to be some context here. That's $12.49.
let's see what the caption said. It says, yeah, cotton candy fries topped with blue mayonnaise and cotton candy at Toronto Blue Jays. I will say, growing up, you'd buy fries from the local corner, whatever. You just dump some ketchup and mayonnaise and mix it in and eat it with.
I'm not mad at ketchup and mayonnaise, but why am I putting cotton candy? Like, why? I don't want anything sweet on my potatoes unless it's sweet potatoes.
Sorry about that. Did get booted out, but yes, somebody tried this meal and said it was actually more savory than sweet. The cotton candy provides a little sweet touch, but it's mostly savory because of the mayo on it.
Yeah, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm cool, man. Like, yeah, it's just.
Don't let me look at it. If it's not blue, I'll eat it. Like that pink sauce looks good. That blue stuff.
We're just doing too much with life right now, man. Like, we need more. We need more things to do. Like, this is why tech has messed us up, man. We're experimenting where we don't need to experiment.
It's not even a Blue Jay blue. It's more like Jaguars.
It's more teal, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. They keep that. I'm good. I'm that's BS.
It's hard to mess up fries though. I love fries. They're so easily good.
I've had some messed up fries before. Very disappointing.
That hurts. You can get fries from Publix and put them in the oven, and they still fire.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big potato wedge guy.
No, you rather
like or tater tots. There's better spuds than. Just for those who don't know, I don't know if everybody's in Jacksonville. V's Pizza, right? Hear me out. Every Monday, V's Pizza does a burger, and they give you like two little potatoes skins with loaded potato skins with it. Burgers phenomenal. Just get the burger, whatever the special burger they have. Get that. You're not gonna.
What's the name of this place?
V's Pizza.
V's Pizza.
V, like it's right over there. Right around the corner, in that new Ritzy shopping center off of Gate. But they got them everywhere, all over the Sound. But they put the burger in the brick oven, and so like they're cooking it like they would cook the pizza. Ooh. So it gives you a whole different. But it's only on Mondays.
Why would they do that?
Because like I don't know why they just started doing this, but the shit is fire. Like I had like a Hawaiian burger. I've had what was the burger yesterday? Yesterday's burger was like some not yesterday. Monday's burger was some fancy shit like with bacon, jam, and all this other stuff, and that was good.
Don't tell me we got to start doing burger reviews.
No, I'm shit. Like, listen, it is a fire burger.
You see that dude? I forgot his name. It's like Fat something dude in Jacksonville. He goes to the hood places and he reviews their food. And
it's dangerous.
He has that one song. It starts off like a TV special, and he talks about girls she's on Moncrief, Fairfax, and I'm gonna put you.
I gotta go check that out.
I love this.
The one guy that I like that's mean got skinny, so I don't know if I could trust his food reviews anymore. Like, but I did like the one the OG. This is the food review, and this is what I'm going to eat right now. I give it a 5 out of 10, or I give it this. And like that the guy who, I know he's not the OG, but he's the one that I just remember going, the MMA fighter. But
the black dude.
Yeah. But let's talk about, this is the OG Wildin' segment. It's a sad day, man, for the real. Sad day for the reals.
So 56-year-old Arkansas teacher Tracy Matthews has been arrested and charged with aggravated assault after a classroom incident was caught on camera. It all started when the student said, "Bruh, I don't have a computer." Matthews replied, "I'm not your bruh, I'm your sir." The student then sealed his fate by saying, "My bad, little bruh." According to the police report, that's when Matthews snapped. He allegedly grabbed the student, pushed him against a desk, followed him out of the room, and then choked him against a wall until it was hard for him to breathe. Man, I don't really feel bad for the kid, man. That's why this was a YN wildin', James, because the YN was wildin' for sure.
These YNs gonna test you now. They gonna test you to see if you still got something in you, man. And that looks like a man who is fed up. He's tired of this shit. It's tough, man. It's tough to, I find teaching and coaching are very similar. I was talking with Trey's what do you call it? The dean of discipline at his school, Mr. Westmoreland. I actually really like Mr. Westmoreland. He's a great example of for him to be at the school, but he also just doesn't go around every time the teacher says something about the kid. He tries to get to know the kid. He's like, all right, this kid did it. All right, I know that didn't happen, but if this kid did, come on, you really want me to believe this kid? So he kind of like helps. But we were just talking about like just how you have to interact with these kids. And when I'm as a coach, I'm fair, but I'm such an asshole in the beginning that everybody remembers that I'm an asshole. But then I can always pull back. It's hard when you start off buddy-buddy with them and then you want to go be the asshole. You can't revert back. But like, I tell them, and the same thing I told the ethics people, you pay $1,419.23 fucking cents. I say that goes to so that money don't even go to me. It goes to Christmas gifts. I don't give a fuck about Christmas. I was like, I will choke you the fuck out and then wait for your daddy to come and choke him the fuck out. Like, so what do you want to, I said, it's not going to end well for you. And they got to know, like, it's unfortunate, but they got to know you crazy. Because if they don't, they're going to test you. And you have to let them know, like, it is minimum 5-minute response time for the police to get here. It's going to be good and over for you before that 5 minutes comes. And that's if they get there. It's a long way from the front of Mandarin to the back of Mandarin. There's a gate. Like, there's a whole bunch of steps you got to take to get there. So we just talk about it. I said, it's easier for you to just do what I ask you to do than for me to like do this. And so if I tell you I ain't your bruh, then don't call me. But these kids will say bruh. It's part of it too. He does got to realize this is where these kids talk. But when he threw that little bruh in there, that he had enough of it. He had enough.
Ready to lose his job.
He was ready to lose. Because again, what happens is, man, these little kids will test you, dog. They're going to test you. And it's just like, I don't want to test you, but if you want to test it, like, the problem is if we were more disciplined a little bit more with how we interact with our kids outside of that, we wouldn't have this. There are people who have taken advantage of the situations, but then there's good coaches and teachers don't get paid enough to deal with the bullshit.
That's fact.
Like, you've got to discipline your kid. And I tell my teachers, I will be your biggest ally because I understand my baby is not an angel. But also, don't lie to me about my baby, because you're going to get him fucked up. And then if I find out that I fucked him up for no reason, I'm going to fuck you up. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So, like, but he's also going to be a yes, sir, no, sir, okay, this, blah, blah, blah. Because if he come out sideways, then, but again, I can tell that. But I'm learning this too. And this is, again, I think we've all done what we feel is the best sometimes, men and women, whatever. But this is why it is important to have that great male structure in life, so that you don't have to knock them the fuck out. Like, so that this man didn't have to do what he just did. There needs to be some consequence at home. And, we have absolved young men, and I can't speak on young women because I don't coach enough young women to know this, but I do know young men are being given too soft a place to land when it's not dangerous consequences yet. So then when they become men, they're used to somebody coming and bailing them out. And that kind of like messes up the ecosystem. But like I've learned that, like, I've seen some, they spaz out, and I'm like, you don't need to talk you don't get to talk, like, where this young man learned a valuable lesson, regardless of what happens to the teacher. When two men interact and have conversations, it has to be civil, and we have to find a place of how we want to engage each other, because at the end of every conversation, there can be violence. That young man learned a valuable lesson. That man said, don't call me bruh. He called him a bruh. And he learned that some people, that might have been the day. So I hope the teacher gets disciplined, not too harshly, because, again, all kinds, like, everything, like, he probably didn't have to react the way he reacted. So he does need to have something. But I hope that young man learned that he wasn't trying to harm you. But like, he didn't really want to kill you. But, like, he did need you to know that you could get yoked up. And then to give a chance. Like, it's like the Dave Chappelle skit. Like, remember the Mad Real World, where they talk to the guy, he's like, yo, we can just fuck you up. And then he was saying, but we do reserve the right to fuck you up. And that's kind of what that young man has now learned. And hopefully this becomes a teachable moment and he doesn't do that again.
Any last words to close out Hump Day's show today?
Nah, man, just enjoy your Wednesday. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the different things that we got going. Please help continue to support the different movements. Appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me, and we will see you guys, I guess, next time.